Oh, hello there. My name is Toast Wizard. Yes, I am a wizard at making toast, but more on that later. Welcome to my Let's Play world. We've got some very unique things going on here, and there's a lot to explain. I'm playing with my own set of self-enforced rules that are going to make this playthrough of Minecraft really fun. So let me explain the rules. The style of this Let's Play is to take the time to enjoy all the small parts of Minecraft. Even the things that seem annoying or useless in a general playthrough, we're going to make sure and use. Rather than spending the first 2 hours of playtime trying to speedrun the game or even just go for full diamond armor, I've created a set of rules for myself that will limit my in-game progress and push me to be more creative in my building and conscious of my resources. There are 5 stages: the Wood Age, the Stone Age, the Iron Age, the Diamond Age, and the Endgame phase. In order to graduate from each stage, I've set some challenges for myself that will involve building as well as fighting. For now, we begin in the Wood Age, with nothing but wooden tools and leather armor. Luckily, at the beginning, we spawned in a forest, which is great because we need all the different tree types because we can only build out of wood. So, first things first, obviously, punch a tree. I took some time to look at some of the new 1.21.5 items and made our first set of wooden tools. Then we found some wool walking around and put it together IKEA style and got ourselves a bed. We gathered saplings from the first 2 tree types we found, oak and birch. Across the way there was a village, so we picked up some food, found ourselves an acacia sapling for our 3rd wood type, and borrowed some leather armor. Oh yeah. Had a look at some blocks that I'm not allowed to use yet. Very sad. And spent our first night with a pretty chill villager dude. He had a nice red house. The next morning, it was cows, leather, beef, more leather, and more leather, so we could get full leather armor, which is our max gear. Found ourselves a somewhat fast horse and ran straight into cherry trees for our 4th wood type. Got ganged up on by some spiders, but luckily, yeah, I'm a monster hunter. But the night was kind of dangerous, so we slept the rest of it away. From there, we went over to a small jungle and got our 6th wood type. We are making progress. Now, my goal in this world is to live in a spruce biome. I love the grass, I love the trees, I love everything. So, we set off on a journey to see if we could find one. Gonna be honest, I had low hopes. When we came to the ocean, I traded in my horse for a boat. We'll probably come back for him. Probably. Had to test to make sure I could mine coal. Turns out we can. I did find spruce. However, the biome was barely bigger than the village, so we checked out a cave and dipped off with our saplings. I finally found a sizable spruce biome that had some nice mountains in the background, and across the bay there was a village and some really nice looking cliffs. Beach area was pretty flat, so I decided for now this is a pretty good place to set up. So I set up camp and put everything away, got organized. Then it was time to start clearing the land. Got rid of a bunch of the trees that weren't spruce because I was planning on making a fake spruce biome, which, come to think of it, was a terrible idea. The grass wouldn't have matched or anything. Once I got to the end of clearing the trees, I decided to go and find the rest of the wood types, and then this happened. Okay, so we've just had nighttime. Ignore the creeper hole, but look at what I found. Yeah, this is, I mean, this is possibly the most breathtaking Minecraft scenery I've ever seen. So I'm moving. We're just a few thousand blocks further than I was before, but who cares? This is the most beautiful Minecraft place I've ever seen, and I want to live here. I mentioned earlier that I wanted to live in a spruce biome, and it took us forever to find a spruce biome, and here we are in one of the best spruce biomes. Look at that mountain, look at the hills. I think it even continues out this way. So, we're going to keep track of those coordinates, and I'm packing up. This is perfect. Okay, we've made some shovels, we've started digging, but I just wanted to pause and explain exactly what the plan is. We got all the trees mostly gone. We have a nice plateau area. We have a very nice view of our mountain, which looks like it's got a waterfall now. I can't remember if that was there before or not. Either way, we have a view of the mountain. We have one problem to deal with, and that is all of our rocky protrusions. Gosh, we're not allowed to mine them because we can't move stone. So I think what we're gonna have to do is just work around them. And that means building up into the air. So our buildings are gonna just be on big stilts. Which is going to be nice anyway, off away from the forest floor, and then it'll help everything stay on the same level, even though the ground is not entirely level. I'm going to take some liberties and level some out. I think I'm going to take this top layer off, and we'll shave it down, and use some of this dirt to clean up some corners and widen out this layer as well. Make everything look a little bit neater, get rid of stuff like this, so that we can be prepared for the actual building. Eat one more piece of bread, and then we're just gonna go for it. Yeah. Oh, he wandered down. Oh, that's a creeper. And that was efficient. Oh, we got cobblestone. I forgot that a creeper would do that. Skeletons are going to be my worst nightmare. But not if I have canine assistance. Let's make this happen. My dog did nothing. Hi, did you come to help? Yeah. And we got a bow. Very good. We are at a moral dilemma, guys. What do I do with that cobblestone that I just picked up? Oh my. Okay, we've run out of torches for now, so let's leave that. But hopefully we don't have mobs wandering out of that cave anymore. Okay, so now that we've got this area all cleaned up, there's a couple things that I want to do before we start building. The chickens wandering around could be in a pen. That's something really easy that we could do. One of the kinks in our plan that I forgot to remember was that we can't make a bucket, which means, yep, if we want to do a farm, we have to find another way to get water. Of course, we could grow our crops without water. It'll take longer. Sometimes they don't stay. It would be better if we had water. So we're going to try and find a way to get water. Later. That's going to be a problem that we tackle later. First, I want to make sure we have a house and make somewhat of a perimeter around this area. I've got an idea for a fence design that should look pretty good and should keep all the mobs out. So, chickens, fence, house. Here we go. Something just seems kind of wrong about the purple chickens. They make the same noises as the normal chickens, but they're purple, bluish, gray. and the eggs are blue, well, you know what they say though, as long as it tastes like chicken, it's probably okay. So let me run you guys through what I'm thinking about doing for this section. We're gonna test it right here. So what I've been thinking for our fence pattern is we'll have 2 solid blocks of wood, and then we'll transition that into 2 solid blocks of dirt. Now I know what you're thinking, a wall built out of dirt is ugly, but that's why we've got the berries, is because we're gonna stagger the berries in the gaps, which will kind of act as a natural fence. And then, of course, real fences so that we can get in and out. And we won't do the fences on every single one, just on every other one. Yeah, something a little bit like that. And then to dress it up a little bit, we have all the wood types. I don't think birch is the way to go. Oak might be, but I was thinking jungle. Yeah, see, because that's the same color as the dirt. I think that looks kind of nice. And it will cover up the grass even when the berries grow grass. So there you go. And when these berry bushes get to full size, they should completely block out mobs. It'll be a more solid barrier than it looks like it is. And then, of course, an unstripped log is an ugly log, so we'll strip these dark oak logs. And there we go. That's what our barrier is going to look like. And yep, it looks like grass is going to grow in here. I would make them soil, but again, the water problem. So I think that's going to look really nice. It's not going to look too medieval. It'll make it look like we live in a nice little garden. So let's get to making a perimeter so that we can finally have a safe place to build and we don't have to be sleeping every night. Everything is all cleaned up. The fence is complete. And as I was building, things are kind of slowly changing. I got rid of all of the podzol, so it's all going to normal soil. The grass is going to grow back. Leaving these rocks here in the dirt actually ended up looking really, really cool, and it kind of sectioned off the build in some nice natural divisions. So what I think is happening here is this whole fenced off area is going to be the garden. So we've got a pen for chickens here, and this second pen that's waiting open is for cows because my armor is pretty much gone. So I need to go and find some cows and bring them back. Luckily, we had a nice visit from a wandering trader who had absolutely nothing of value to give us, and we have no emeralds to give him anyway. So we acquired 2 free leads. And while we're on our way to find 2 lucky cows, we're also going to be thinking about how we're going to get water up here, because I know I said I would make this a farm, but guess what? You can't farm without water. The soil won't stay tilled. So I can't make a cauldron to catch the rain, and I can't make a bucket to pick up the water. So we're going to have to get pretty creative. We might have to get extremely creative, depending on what we find. That may be the only source of water that's higher than where I'm standing right now, in a convenient way. We may have to build an aqueduct from the mountain down to here, which I hope that there's enough height. But for now, off I go to find some cows and hopefully some water. The hill up here looks pretty good as well, so I think we're going to try going up the hill this way first, and then we'll look the other way and see if we find any cows. I'm not gonna lie, that was super fast. Oh, I hope there's 2. If there's 2, then this could all be over really quick and we can go back home. There's another one. we can't feed the cows if we don't have hay, and in order to get hay, we need to have a farm, and in order to have a farm, we need to have water. So again, water has become our problem. You know the drill. It's time to go searching. Hopefully I find something useful. And, I mean, you'll see it if I do. So, here we go. Oof. Okay. We made it up. Oh. Looks like there's lava over there as well. Okay, that over there is our hilltop garden. Can't really call it the base anymore because it's not. But I think that I have caused my own problem. I don't see any water that's higher than this mountaintop. We have a really, really nice secluded lake over here, which will make a great location for a base later. I just got attacked by a goat. Oh my goodness, that could have easily killed me. Okay, we gotta be more careful. I forget that the goats attack you. Let's not stand on top of their mountain. You can have it, Mr. Goat, sir. What was I saying before I was rudely interrupted? I think this is the best water source that we've got. Every 1 block up is 8 blocks out. So I think we're gonna go for it. We're gonna build an aqueduct. I think spruce trapdoors are the way to go. We got plenty of spruce wood, and it'll just look narrow enough. I think I'm doing this right. They're not gonna flip up unless I place them on a block that's in the middle. So it's gonna look really ugly for the moment. But that idea should let us carry the water all the way out there. Wish me luck. I'm gonna get more spruce. This is what we've got. It turns out this is really tedious. Because we're building downward, you can't place blocks under other blocks. So I'm having to build pillars up from the ground every 8 blocks to allow myself to place a trapdoor. But I've decided to build each pillar out of logs, which is a lot of logs. So I've been hard at work. I have chopped down a lot of trees, and I've been replanting too, so it's not just a whole bunch of empty forest land. We do want to keep the land around us populated with trees. So I am replanting, and I've got a whole bunch of logs, and we're just gonna go until I get the water out here, and then we'll work on making ourselves an actual garden. It may have taken me hours, but we did it. And we have transported one singular block of water all the way down the mountain. It goes past the village out there. That's the village we're about to go visit here in a second. Goes past the village, all the way down, turns the corner, and I kid you not, just barely reaches our little hill where we decided to build our farm. I don't even know what else to say. This took forever. You might notice I switched away from using logs. It was logs back here, and that was getting too expensive. So I cut the work I needed to do in quarter, by turning all my logs into planks. And I promise you guys, when we're rich, we'll come back and we'll make it logs, because I do like the way the logs looks better. It kind of blends in with the forest. But here we are. So let's head down there and I will show you guys what we did with the water. Once I got here, I thought I was going to have a little bit more height, but we really just barely made it. So what we decided to do was to do these kind of canal things where we run the water through the ground, because the water needs to be in the soil level to provide any kind of saturation to the soil. So we've spread it out at different junctions as much as I could. And some of the spots are really ugly, like some of these corners with the trapdoors that I might end up just putting like composters here to fill in the corners. But I think we've spread it out enough to where all of this can be farmland. It even comes out here to the animals, and this won't quite reach into the corner, but that's okay. Sorry, that's kind of loud. And then even this area, this corner can be farmland. My goal here is to take all of my storage and such and move it up to this higher level. This is the one level that I couldn't get the water to. It just didn't quite reach. In fact, it's pretty lucky that we got as far as we did. So we're gonna build a little shed up here with some storage for all the farming equipment and things, and just have a little workplace so that we can farm. So let's go and visit our village friend out there and see what we can borrow from them. All right, guys, we made it back from the double village trip, as it turned out. And we did get carrots. This was one of the few crops we were missing. We got a whole bunch more wheat, and we acquired sunflowers, some of these wild flowers, some emeralds. I'm not sure exactly what we're gonna do with those yet. We'll put those in there. Got some apples, more potatoes, and a beetroot seed, and of course pumpkins. We actually have pretty much all of the crops that we would need to start farming, and we have farmland prepared and ready to go. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna get ourselves a hoe, and we're gonna see what areas are farmable and what areas are going to be dry. So enjoy this quick little time lapse. All right, all our crops are planted. It's all tilled. I replaced all of the grass blocks underneath these trapdoors with coarse dirt that won't grow grass. I thought about removing the trapdoors on the side, but I think it'll be nice to have just some open spots where there's no crops growing. I don't think I want it to be 100% just crops growing inside this area. Unfortunately, we lose this whole line of dirt to these trapdoors, and it's the same with every line of trapdoors, but this is the price we pay for limiting ourselves in terms of progression. We don't have access to water buckets, and so we have to deal with that. We have to get the water here somehow. We have all of the wood types except for one kind now. I believe we are missing mangrove still. So, tell me you're impressed. Tell me you're impressed that I did this without a water bucket. Yes. Anyway, you might have noticed in the time lapse we moved all the chests over, and that's because I decided I need to build a shed. And yes, I did some building without you. I'm sorry. We kind of are running out of time for this video. So, ta-da! Shed. I think it's nice. We used the bamboo on the roof there to kind of give it this straw look. I'll take you on a tour of the inside as well. It's jam-packed. It is definitely just a shed. and we have all of our farming needs. We've been farming a little bit, you know, as it was growing. We were cooking and moving stuff around. Haven't been working too much on the animals, just trying to breed them up. But we've got everything all nice and sorted. We got all of our wood types, which we have all of the wood types. We even went and grabbed ourselves some mangrove propagules. I went on a journey out past the village that we visited to get our crops from in search of a mangrove swamp, and luckily stumbled right upon one. So we got some propagules and we saw some really amazing sights along the way. Some great places for future builds or for different inspiring locations. So we'll definitely make sure to go back and visit some of those. But let's go ahead and have a sleep here. This is it. We have food, we have a safe place to be, and now we can begin the actual fun part because we have all of the wood types, which means we are prepared to make stage 1 as perfect as we want. So I hope you guys join me next time when I start building my base around this area. This is not my base. This is just a challenge to see if we can actually do this whole Minecraft playthrough with limiting ourselves in terms of resources. And I think what we've proven by this whole setup with the water and the collecting all the wood types is that this is possible, and it'll lead to some pretty unique builds. So tune back in next time, and I'll see you guys later when I start building my fort in this area. Later.